Gracie, and um, I'm starting a YouTube channel or something. So this is a Hyperfixation Station. So basically, I'm gonna be doing different things. Like I'm knitting right now, um, and so I'm a knit. And while I'm knitting, I'm gonna read "Am I the Asshole" stories. That banger entertainment right there. So, yeah, basically the point of this channel. Oh shit, I think I screwed up. No one knows. Ah, fuck. Well, anyway, basically the point of this channel is that I get to do different hyperfixations as I have them. So I'm just gonna be doing whatever shit I find interesting. Yay! Um, but I am knitting. If you want to know what I'm knitting this stockinette stitch for anyone um who knows anything about knitting. Alright, let's get this awkward intro over and let's get to reading the stories. Am I the asshole for making my daughter leave because my husband is attracted to her? Um, based off the title, I'd say yes. But let's get into it before we read before let let's figure some shit out. I, 55 female, have been married to my husband and my daughter's stepdad, 63 male, for 4 years. My 23-year-old daughter and I have a complicated relationship. She has been diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder. She has a lot of trauma from watching me and my husband's horrible marriage go down and was bullied in school. When she told me she was being bullied by peers, my view that all children are innocent really tied my hands because I told her that if I said anything to them, I would be an adult harassing a child. Okay. Um, no. You can talk to people, and like also you can like get authorities involved or like the principal or something at least. Let's keep reading. She's blamed me for that ever since. Wait, hold up. What? What? Yeah, no shit, she's blamed you for that. Oh my god. Okay. Safe in our judgment. And keeps referring to this one time where the kids at school called her trash due to the fact that she wasn't taking care of her hygiene due to depression. Part, not all, of my response was telling her to take a shower and I bought her new clothes. Maybe help your daughter with her depression? Jesus. The bullying finally ended with an expulsion and a suspension for the ringleaders. She still throws the fact that a school clinic volunteer told her that if she was their kid, she'd have permission to punch back if the administrators didn't do anything. Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! You go, clinic volunteer. Fucking amazing. You're the hero. I thought that having her live with me while she finishes school and gets a job would help heal some childhood wounds if my second husband and I modeled a healthy relationship. However, my husband... Oh, Jesus. I thought that having her live with me while she finishes school and gets a job would help heal some childhood wounds if my second husband and I modeled a healthy relationship. However, my daughter now doesn't get along with my husband. She is a very introverted, creative person who likes immersing herself in escapism. So she'd get annoyed if she was eating alone and my husband would sit across from her and eat, saying she ate later so she could eat alone. However, my husband started acting distant from me, and my daughter complained that his eyes lingered for too long. She got very angry, and there was a lot of shouting and slamming of doors. Finally, my husband admitted he's attracted to her, and it's hard to be around her all day. Said she was a walking temptation, and that's why he was avoiding sex with me. Oh my god. What the fuck? I was so upset to hear this. I don't blame my daughter for this, but at the same time, the situation has become unbearable. Something would have to give, and I couldn't collect my thoughts with both of them still being in the house. So I gave my daughter money to stay at an extended stay hotel and asked her to utilize for college's emergency financial and housing resources they have for students in need. She responded by storming out and telling my ex, who is now circling social media, using it to paint me as the villain of all villains. Bruh, divorce your second husband. He's a shitty bitch. Oh, this next part is, I'm not abandoning my daughter. She qualifies for those resources anyway, since my ex is unemployed and we are in substantial debt. I just need some time to process the situation and don't want to leave my house to stay with my daughter when I have a marriage to figure out whether or not to save. Am I the asshole? Yes, you're a fucking asshole! Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. I don't think you need to figure out whether or not to save your marriage. Yes, you and your daughter have a complicated relationship, but like your new husband is literally sexualizing your daughter. Bestie boo. No. Oh my god. Some people's children. Some some people's children. I don't think I really need to go into more explanation. I do, however, really want to move on because mm, that did not sit well with me. Yeah, let's move on. Alright. Am I the asshole for keeping score of everything I've ever done for my husband? Interesting. Because this could go like, no, I'm really just leaning towards the one way. Well, so there's like the point of like, well, they've never, like, he's never done anything for you, and like, that's a shitty thing to do as a husband, I feel like. Like, a relationship should be like equal. Like, it doesn't have to be 50-50, but I do think that, like, in the end, on average, you both should be putting in like the same amount of work to make it work. You know what I mean? Like, if one day you're feeling like at a 20%, have you heard of like, so there's this thing, let me not get ahead of myself. So there's this thing of being like, all couples should be like 100%, um, but it doesn't have to be split like 50-50. So like each day you can portion it out. So like if you're feeling at a 20, um, your partner can be like, oh yeah, I'll pick up like the extra 30%. Like I'll do 70. Like I'll pull my weight, or 80. I can't do math. Anyway, um, and being like, if they're having a lower day, like they're at 30%, you pick up 70. And if you both are at a low point, then you lay off and you just have like a rest day. Because even though there are things to get done, it takes the enjoyment out of life. Like, even if you don't enjoy those activities, like washing the dishes or doing the laundry, it can make them so much worse if you do them at just one time while you're at a low percentage versus if you're at a little bit of a higher percentage. Like, if you're, let's say, like 30 and like 60. Like, if you're doing it at 30, you feel miserable and all you want to do is like sit on the couch, and like you're at 60 and you're like still want to sit on the couch, but like this is something that needs to get done and I'm willing to do it if that means it'll be done, because that's great and that's another thing off of my list. Then like doing that versus doing it when you don't have the energy, if that makes sense. And that can like ruin it, even if you never enjoyed it in the first place. Anyway, I just went on a tangent. Let's let's actually read this story. Am I the asshole for keeping score of everything I've ever done for my husband? I'm a woman in my late 50s, married to my husband early 60s. We've been married for 30 odd years. Okay. I have fulfilled the role of a traditional wife for much of our marriage, and I left paid work soon into our marriage. My husband is very successful in his business, and we live comfortably. All of our children are now adults. My husband built his business from the ground up, and I was an instrumental to the early success which set it up to be what it is today. We were having lunch with our children when my son mentioned that his wife didn't want to be the trad wife and do what I did to raise traditional. Okay. Guys, let's not use the slang terms here. My son mentioned that his wife didn't want to be the traditional wife and do what I did to raise the kids. She raised concerns about how vulnerable a position it is, and she didn't want to solely depend on him for money. He wanted me to talk to her and convince her by telling her how it worked out to me. How it worked out for me. I Okay, that bothers me. I'm gonna be so for real. Because, like, as a partner, you should not be deciding what your spouse gets to do, like, for the rest of their life. Like, if they want a job, let them get a job. Like, I feel like adding more money to the household is not a bad thing. And, like, there is still time. I just, I don't know. It irks me. It really irks me. Yeah, I'm irked. I am irked. I said I understood where she was coming from, and being a housewife is incredibly risky and vulnerable, especially if he leaves her and she's been out of the labor force for a while. He countered that it works for his father and I because I trusted him as my husband to provide for me, and why couldn't his wife do the same? I told him I have a meticulous record of all contributions I ever made to the family business, recently digitized with the help of my daughter, so that if the worst were ever to happen, I wouldn't be relying on the mercy of a man to feed me. Slay, queen, slay. I told him I have made many contingency plans over the years to minimize the risk of being a housewife and compensate for my lack of pension and benefits I'd have had I not left the labor force. But, like, that's such a slay girly boss. But, like, also, my son and husband were angered by this. Both said it showed a lack of trust, and my husband especially feels I've had one foot out the door our entire marriage, and that my little escape plan included plans to shaft him of his business. I told him the fact that he refers to it as his business rather than ours is exactly why I kept those records, and I won't be telling my daughter-in-law to do what she doesn't want to do. Am I the asshole? Fuck no! Okay, I'm gonna be so for real. Title was a little sketch. This makes so much more sense. Like, your husband's a bitch. Like, one, good on you, but also, like, even if he doesn't leave you or something, what if he, like, dies? Like, there are so many things that could go wrong. Or, like, he dies, he gets seriously injured, like, things happen, people. Shit happens. Like, we went through a whole ass pandemic. No one thought that would happen. Like, and the fact that she did so much for that business and he's still calling it his bothers me. Bothers me. Because it's not his, it's theirs. Yeah. Well, that was enjoyable. Alright. I guess on to the next one. Oh my word. Okay. I need to knit. I need to knit a little bit. Cause this is getting deep, folks. Am I the asshole for leaving my party for beating cancer? Ooh. I'm just gonna get into it. I, 35 male, am a very private person. I have no social media, don't want my wife, 32 female, posting photos of me. Although I don't tell her not to, just don't ask her to post me. Celebrating Father's Day or my birthday, I don't like attention on me and prefer to keep things low-key whenever I can. So, keeping that in mind, I was diagnosed with an extremely curable type of skin cancer. It was caught very early on, and I never felt scared for my life in any way, shape, or form. I'm an engineer and I think analytically, and wasn't scared of a diagnosis with a 0.03% fatality rate. Still, I told my wife, of course, and she was terrified. We talked through it and told her my doctor was very optimistic and said we caught it early on, etc. None of it seemed to help, but I tried. After a while, I told her that we shouldn't tell our kids, 5 female and 7 female. My wife wanted to tell them, but I was adamant about that. I'm not even sure they would understand what we're talking about. Reluctantly, she agreed not to. About a week later, I get a call from my dad asking about my cancer. Oh. Turns out my wife posted on Facebook about my cancer that morning. Who the fuck does that? At the very least, without, like, consulting the person first, and he clearly doesn't want it to be shared. You're not even telling your children. Oh, you're shitty. I called her and wasn't happy that she posted my business and his behind the "you didn't say I couldn't post it, just not to tell the kids" excuse. There's no way she would think I wanted that posted online, no matter what I said. So she took it down and time went by. Finally. Very quickly, I was in remission with my skin cancer, and my doctor told me, word for word, "We don't like to say you're cured, but you're cured." I told my wife, and she was ecstatic. She told me she was worried all this time. I could tell. Damn. And glad we put all of this behind us. I thought we could put all of this behind us too. Mm. This weekend, I'm coming home on Friday. I see a lot of cars parked on the street, some in my driveway. I couldn't think of any birthdays or anniversaries I missed, but went in anyway. It was a party for my remission diagnosis. I was mortified at this. She's never done anything like this, and we've talked about how I would hate a surprise party multiple times. I asked what this is for. I asked what this is for and said, I'm sorry, but I didn't know you planned this. I'm just coming back for some files and heading back to work. It was a lie. I gathered up some meaningless files in my office, said thanks to everyone for coming, and left to go back to my office, messing around on my phone until everyone left. Ooh, damn. Damn. That's good job sticking up for yourself, though. Like, GG, bestie. GG. My wife knew I was lying, and we fought that night, and I told her I don't know what's gotten into her, but she knows I would never want this, and she doesn't get to make a big deal out of something personal I never wanted to be public in the first place. We've been cold this whole week, and my brother says I'm the asshole since I told him I just pretended to go to work. So, am I the asshole for not wanting to celebrate beating my cancer? Fuck no, dude! Like, what the hell? She knows that you don't like this. You've never done anything like that before. And then she... Oh, that bothers me. You're not the fucking asshole, dude. Like, man. Oh. And that sucks. Like, because it depends on you. You haven't expressed, you haven't even told your kids. Like, did she tell them? Like, oh yeah, your dad had cancer, but like, he's in remission now, so like, it's like, yeah, mom, we noticed you were worried, and like, but dad had cancer? And it's like, guys, what the fuck? Crazy. Crazy. Like, I get not wanting to tell your kids, if that's the risk of dying, 0.03%, like, you're doing pretty good. I just, man, these suck. Like, I'm reading these and I'm just like, oh my god, people are dumbasses. Like, oh, well, we're doing 5, so we got 2 more left. But people are dumbasses. Let's move on to the next one. Am I the asshole for telling teenage boys to fucking stop? Probably not. Having been a teenager quite recently, um, and I honestly still consider myself a teenager. I'm in college now, but like, like, anyway, yeah, teenage boys are fucking assholes. Anyway, I, 22 male, went on a trip to a theme park with one of my church's youth group yesterday. I'm one of the chaperones, and the kids are mostly teenagers around 13 to 16 years old. For the most part, they're good kids, but they can be a bit rowdy, especially when they're in a big group. While we, myself and 5 of the 6 boys, were waiting in line for one of the rides, there was a woman standing in front of us who looked to be around my age, early 20s female. She's wearing a tank top and shorts, not even these booty shorts. Ah, shit, hold on, I screwed up. I fucked up. Shit, man. I screwed up. So I'm gonna stop knitting because I'm frustrated. And I'm just gonna read the story. While we, myself and 5 of the 6 boys, were waiting in line for one of the rides, there was a woman standing in front of us who looked to be around my age, early 20s female. She was wearing a tank top and shorts, not even booty shorts, like mid-thigh length, nothing outrageous, just typical summer clothes you would see in a mall clothing store. However, some of the boys in our group decided that she wasn't dressed modestly enough, women in our church typically wearing ankle-length skirts and sleeves to the elbow. Ugh, brother, bro. Oh, they started clapping loudly in her ears, making comments about how should cover up, and even going as far as lightly touching her arm and shoulder to get her attention. One even grabbed her hip. Oh my god! One grabbed her fucking hips. One even grabbed her hips. She was visibly uncomfortable but seemed too shocked or scared to say anything. I watched this go on for about a minute, expecting them to stop on their own, but they didn't. It was getting worse, and I felt awful for not stepping in sooner. Finally, I snapped and told them to fucking stop harassing her. I didn't yell, but I was firm and clear. They immediately looked shocked and embarrassed, and thankfully they did stop. Thanks, dude. Like, brother. Brother. Later, one of the other chaperones pulled me aside and told me I shouldn't have used that language in front of the kids, saying it was inappropriate and not setting a good example. He said I should have found a gentler way to correct them and that I overreacted. He also reminded me that using swear words is sinful. You bitch! They were literally grabbing a woman. They're not married. Oh, so now it's okay to, like, rape women and sexually harass women? Hmm. I wonder what this is about you, chaperone. I'm not upset. I'm perfectly fine. I don't usually use language like that, especially around kids, but in the moment I was more concerned with getting them to stop harassing this woman. Now I'm second guessing myself. Maybe I could have handled it better, but I also feel like what they were doing was way out of line and needed to be shut down immediately. Am I the asshole for cussing at them? Fuck no. Fuck no. I mean, absolutely not. I haven't cursed this entire time. Yeah, I haven't cursed at all, in fact. Mm-mm. But no, like, come on, they're probably hearing worse at school. Like, brother, they're probably saying worse shit. Like, mm. Last one. Last one for the evening. Also, if you're wondering why I stopped knitting, I screwed up, and I'm a bit upset. So I'm just reading the rest of these stories. Um, cause I'm done. I'm upsetty spaghetti. I'm upsetty spaghetti. Anyway, let's get on to this last one. Am I the asshole for accidentally being fat phobic? Okay, explain though. I, 21 female, hosted a dinner party for my best friend, Anna, 22 female, the other day. I invited all her close friends, made the cake, made a ton of food I know everyone could enjoy, and decorated the place with all her favorite things. I was exhausted, and honestly, all that cooking kinda killed my appetite. So when everyone was eating, I only had a couple things before putting my plate away. One of the friends, let's call her Sarah, noticed and asked what was wrong. I told her I just don't have that much of an appetite, but please don't stop on my account. I made all this food, so enjoy to your heart's content. She didn't say anything, just nodded and walked off. We moved on to games and everyone was having a blast, until it was time to cut the cake. The cake was delicious and people were gobbling it up, as they should because it was amazing. Slay Queen! We love a confident bestie. I only took a few bites of cake before putting it away, and Sarah once again walked up to me. She talked about how good the cake was and how everyone was downing it. I laughed and told her I was super happy that everyone was enjoying it, and I wish I could down my piece like everyone else, but I just finished a bottle of Mexican Coke earlier, so a few bites were all I could stomach right now. She went off on me. She started yelling at me how I shouldn't have called her fat. I don't think I did, though, and I should be ashamed of making people feel guilty about eating. Anna came over trying to calm Sarah down because everyone was staring and wondering what was happening. I tried to reach out to Sarah in an attempt to defuse the nuclear war I inadvertently started, but she stomped off. Anna looked at me confused, and I just shrugged before telling everyone to continue as they were. The party eventually kicked back off. I tried to text Sarah to come back and apologize, but she just left me on red. Brother, like, I can see how that could be misinterpreted, but that's not what she meant. And for Sarah to just go off like that, this is Sarah with an H. Definitely need that clarification. Um, but like, for her to just go off like that, I don't. And with her using the wording like, this is all I can stomach right now, like, it does toe the line of like, could be understood, like, misunderstood as being fat phobic, but like, also, you could just not be hungry. Bestie, you're not hungry all the time. If you are, maybe that's a little concerning. Maybe you weren't eating enough. Like, I don't know your situation, but if you're hungry like every single second, always, that might be a problem, and you might want to get that checked out. Anyway, now, a few days later, Anna's friends refuse to talk to me. Sarah has spread the word that I'm fat phobic and everyone is eating it up. Bruh. I know I'm not as close to them as Anna is, but it still hurts that they seem to believe Sarah so easily without attempting to understand the whole situation. My best friend tried to explain to them it was a simple miscommunication, but no one seems to be listening. The only thing that'll apparently help the situation is a full-blown apology from me in person to Sarah's words. To Sarah. Oh my god. The only thing that'll apparently help the situation is a full-blown apology from me in person to Sarah, Sarah's words to my friend. But I really don't think I did anything wrong. So Reddit, please weigh in. I'm so confused. Like, you didn't do anything wrong, though. Like, you didn't. It was literally just a simple miscommunication, and it's been blown way out of proportion. That's crazy. Oh, there's an edit. There's an edit, guys. Okay. I texted Anna throughout all of this, and apparently Sarah has been going around and telling the friend group a completely different story than what happened. That's why they've been icing me out. Oh my god. Bitch. Okay, from what Anna can gather, she's been saying I was the one who went up to her and made the comments about how much she's ate, which never happened. Bro. I'm so over this petty drama, so I just texted everyone in a group chat and let them know that they can believe what they want. For what it's worth, Anna is 100% on my side since she knows I'm not the type to police who eats what. I'm graduating soon with my uni degree, so I have better things to worry about. If they respond, I'll let y'all know what they say. and there's no response. That is wild. Absolutely wild. Sarah's a bitch. And, like, an attention whore, honestly. Anna's a good person, but, like, also, Sarah's a bitch for, like, ruining Anna's birthday like that, both on the day and, like, after the fact, too. Okay, Sarah, just, like, tell me how you really feel. Like, ugh. Fun. People are shitty. Ugh. People are really shitty. Oh, that's fun. Anyway, that's gonna be the end for today. Thank you for watching. If you made it through, which you probably didn't, this is so fucking cringy. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll I might be back with this or with something else. Or I might never be back. Who knows? Hyperfixation oh my fucks. Hyperfixation be Gracie. Anyway, bye bitch!